Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and hi if you're new here, I'm Jade, and today it is time to do my July TBR. So here we have my trusty TBR jar. I kind of want to do something a bit different maybe next month, but I think as the TBR jar is quite new for me, I think we're going to do the TBR jar for July and my reading prompts, but then maybe we use the jar but also do like an Instagram poll or something like that, maybe just to change it up a bit. But yeah, for today we're just going to do my usual TBR jar. We're going to do 3 books. So I usually do 3 because I usually read, I would say, I think my average is 9 a month. So then it gives me 3 that, I've been prompted to. And then if I have any arcs I need to read, stuff for my book club, it gives me plenty of time. So they are the goals, because I am more of a seasonal mood reader. Like, usually this time of year I'm reading a lot more like summery feeling vibey books. We've had so many storms, it's kind of been out of sync for me. I've actually been reading a lot more darker stuff, a lot of I'd say slightly darker fantasies or thrillers. But yeah, I am hoping July will feel seasonal, but that's why my TBR is important, so that I do get through different things from these mountains of books that I have. I've moved slightly to the side so you can see all the piles of books that I have as well. They're not all on my TBR jar. So without further ado, let's get on into this video. And as usual, bit of a hard thing with the microphone because it just scratches if I touch it to things like this. So we're gonna do the awkward getting this, putting it on my knee, trying to open it. I'm going to put this down and pause while I open the lid, because otherwise the noise is going to be horrendous. Okay, the jar is now open on my knee, so it should be easier. Let's see what the first one's going to be. Okay, I have one in my hand. Okay, the first prompt I have picked is published in the last year. So something that has been released, within the past year. So I guess up until July last year. Let's see. I'm not sure what we have, but I will have a look. I might have to Google some dates here, so it might be a moment. Okay, that was a lot harder than I thought it would be. There was a few that I was like, oh, they must have come out in the past year, and I would Google it and it'd be like May 2024. So it wasn't within the past year. It was just over. And I was like, nope, it has to be within the last year, and I'm going to stick with that. So after I'd looked up several of them and decided that this was actually really difficult and I wasn't getting anywhere very fast, and I kind of suspect most on here are going to be older, I was like, I don't want to go through for hours. So I think I just spent about 15 minutes going through. So I've actually just gone for the obvious ones that I know I bought this year and were released this year. So the first option we have is The Favourites by Lane Fargo. I have been really excited to read this one, but it is about ice skating, so I don't know how vibey it is going to be for the time of year. But yeah, essentially this book follows these people that start ice skating together, they make it to the Olympics, and then I think their relationship sort of falls apart and they stop ice skating together, and then someone makes like a documentary about it, which one of them partakes in. And I think that's what the book's about. Then next we have First Time Caller by BK Borison. Honestly, I don't know a lot about this one, really. I only bought it because my friend wanted this special edition of it, like the special cover from Walmart in the UK. So I bought it and posted it to her, and then there just happened to be one left like several weeks later, and I just saw it as a sign that I should buy it and try and read it too, but I haven't yet. But from what I gather, this is about a guy that runs a radio, and someone calls in to his like hotline thing, and then it makes it go viral, and then I guess there's probably a love story with them. I assume. I don't know too much. I don't want to spoil it for myself, but yeah, so there's this option. And there is The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, which I did get this beautiful sprayed edge edition if you missed my video book haul recently. But yeah, so this is an option. I really, really want to read this one, to be honest, but I haven't read One Dark Window that duology yet, and I don't know if I should read that first. I know that it's a different thing, it's not like this is part of that series, but I don't know if I should read that first or if it matters, or if what one's the best introduction to Rachel Gillig. So if you have read both, if you've read this and One Dark Window, please let me know what I should do, because yeah, I'm torn with whether to pick this up or not, because everyone's raving about it, so I'm really excited to read it, but at the same time I'm like, maybe I should wait. I don't know, maybe I should get the other one done first. I have no idea. So yeah, they were the three obvious options because unfortunately a lot of other books that I've bought this year and I know were definitely therefore published within the last year, I have already read. I do often read a lot of books straight away when I get them. Not always, but quite a lot, I would say. So yeah, they're kind of the three that are left. And I've heard great things about all of them, so I don't know. I'm going to be boring and go with my seasonal mood reader self and trust that we're not going to have too many storms in July and that it's going to be sunny and I'm going to want to read nice fluffy romances and we're just going to go with First Time Caller because, yeah, it's just more vibey. And who knows, I might read one of the others in July as a personal pick anyway, but I just feel like this is vibing for July and I should read it. Okay, the TBR jar is back on the knee, so let's choose the second one and we will see what we get. Ooh, a pink prompt this time. A house on the cover. I'm sure I've got some, so let's have a look. Okay, for some reason I thought I was going to have a lot more than I did, but I have found sort of 4 that fit the description. Not gonna lie, I was really tempted to add in the final part of the Housemaid series because then I would have finished a series and it would be really useful. But it's just a keyhole, isn't it? So I mean, it's part of a house, but it's not really. It doesn't really meet a house on the description cover. So I was good. I didn't add it in, but these are what I found. So the first one is The Lost Bookshop by Evie Woods. I think that classes a house on the front cover. I mean, it's probably a bookshop, right? But it looks like a house. So I figured it kind of fits. But from what I gather this is about is it's about a magical bookstore that like appears and then these 3 people find it and they kind of go on their own sort of like self journey, I think is what this is about. So yeah, this is an option. Then this one automatically come to mind, which is The Wishing Quilt by Jodie Thomas, Laurie Wilde and Patience Griffin. These are like short stories in one book. So 3 short stories by those 3 writers. I thought this one because I almost had it on one of my videos before. It came up as an option. I got gifted this. I don't know what it's about. And honestly, I feel like it is like one that would end up sitting on my car a long time if I don't pick it. I also found Frederick Bachman's Beartown that has loads of houses small on there, if you can see that. So I thought that's also an option, but I must say, it is a lot of houses, so maybe, I don't know if that's cheating. It has a house on the cover, just a lot of them. And I just read his book Anxious People and I loved that. So I definitely really want to get into Frederick Bachman. But again, this is like icy and cold, and I don't know if that's vibing right now. Again, this has ice skating in it, I think. And the final one I found was The Return by Nicholas Sparks, because it sort of has the front door and entranceway of a house. Not the full house, but it does have that. So I thought that could also work as an option. This one is about a guy that comes back from Afghanistan with injuries, I think, and then he moves into his granddad's old house, and then he meets some women and there's like a lot of mystery and stuff surrounding it. I think there's a bit of a romance, or I assume so. I mean, it's Nicholas Sparks. I haven't read a Nicholas Sparks book in ages, and I used to adore him as a teenager, which is why I bought this one this year to have on my TBR. So they are our 4 options. I must say, I am vibing more with either Nicholas Sparks or The Wishing Quilt. They just seem a little bit more summery, like the covers, which I know I haven't got a prompt for the time of year, but I suppose my preferences are still going to influence this. But you know what? Let's go with The Wishing Quilt because I do feel like it is one that will just sit on my TBR for ages if I don't pick it soon enough. And also, it is the most accurate of the description. Like, you couldn't get more house on the front cover if you tried, could you? Let's pick the third and final choice for the July. Blue one. A white cover. I'm not sure what I've got. Let's see. Okay, this was another prompt that was way harder than I expected. I had one book in my mind straight away and I was like, I'm pretty sure that book's white. And then I picked it up and I was like, no, that's definitely cream. Like, it's not even remotely white, it's cream. So that left me looking for other things. Now I do have Spark the Everflame, which has a white sort of base to it, but I'm not including that because I am going to do that read with a friend at some point. So I'm not going to include it in our options. So I found 3 where I guess the basis for the covers are white, but that's where we're at. So the first one is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. I must say it is a little bit more grey at the top, but it's definitely white on the back. And I would say even on the spine, it's definitely a little bit more grey on the front. But, I mean, it's sort of white, fades into grey, goes into the trees. It's, a picture of the wild. So there is this one. I think what this one is about a girl that moves to Alaska to sort of form a relationship with her father. She struggles with the lifestyle and in the meantime falls in love with an Alaskan pilot. So the second choice I found on there was Eeny Meeny by MJ Aldridge, because this is definitely white as a basis, but it obviously has all these like branches over it. And then the red writing kind of stands out, but definitely a white basis. I actually have had this on my TBR for quite a while. A friend said I'd really like this, and I bought it ages ago, and I just never got around to reading it. So this one is a thriller. It is a sort of detective thriller where the detective's trying to work out about abductions, I think. So yeah, there is this option. Then because this cover was somewhat similar, I did pick out Then She Was Gone by Lisa Jewell, but the white is kind of minimal. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely very similar to the MJ Aldridge cover, but a darker version. But you know what? Let's go with Eeny Meeny, because even though thrillers don't vibe with me if it's sunny and summery and whatever, I do this TBR jar to make me pick things that maybe I wouldn't always pick this time of year. And I feel like this is a great one because this definitely is something I would lean towards more in the winter months. So let's get it read. Also, it is by far the whitest cover, let's face it. So there we have it. We have our three choices. Let me remind you, for published in the last year, we have First Time Caller. For house on the cover, we have The Wishing Quilt, like the collection of short stories. And for white cover, we have Eeny Meeny by MJ Aldridge. So if you've read any of those, let me know, or if there's any that you're interested in to hear about. And obviously, they will end up in my July wrap up soon. You'll get my June wrap up shortly, so you'll be able to see what I thought of the books that I had in the June TBR video. And I will see you again real soon. Bye!